Oh, excuse you. Baloney wash. All right. What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I don't know what the hell happened to my theme song, but I don't know. The internet is internet today. But anyway, this is a show where we basically get into the latest celebrity news, hot topics, all the things that's going on in the world of entertainment. So, before we get into said topics, do yourselves a favor and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button so that way you will know when we go live with the latest episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. So, I know I told you I was going to do a show on Wednesday, but a little something something happened. So apparently, I went to the Madonna concert on Monday and got sick when I was in that room with all them damn people. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Well, I did test for COVID. It came back negative, but all of a sudden, like during the third act of the show, I wound up with chills. Like I started coughing profusely. Like I've had like a nasty cold for the past couple of days. So my energy has just been kind of wavering. So please bear with me through this episode. So, I don't know. It's something clearly going around in New York. Like the weather out here is bipolar. Everybody wanting to know what's up. I know, like they say it's COVID, but a lot of like RSV type stuff is going on. A lot of respiratory issues, that sort of thing. So yeah, so we're gonna get into that. Speaking of Madonna, we're gonna get into that because I gotta give y'all my opinion on her concert because I know I went on Monday. The last show we did, I was like, I'm on my way to go see the celebration tour. I know she did Chicago last night, but I'm still on New York time. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, another international pop icon is about to tour the US, Kylie Minogue. So we're gonna talk about that. She made that announcement today. Plus, Justin Timberlake and his wannabe thug ass got his ass handed to him by none other than Britney Spears because he tried it in that tight ass concert that he did at Urban Plaza. And Britney was like, not today, Satan. You're not gonna play on my name and try to be cute on, in the little concert because I'm gonna destroy your ass on social media. Which she did, and we're gonna talk about it. Plus, Azealia Banks is weighing in on this beef between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. And she says that she feels like Jay-Z may be at the center of the whole situation. We got the clips. We're going to talk about it. Plus, speaking of clips, they just dropped the trailer for Wendy Williams' new documentary that's supposed to be coming out on Lifetime. And child, when I tell you that just hurt my spirit watching that trailer. We're gonna play it on here as a class, and we're gonna break it down, and we're gonna talk about it. Plus, Shannon Sharpe is out here trying to start mess between the BeyHive and the damn Swifties. So we're gonna talk about that because this is why I say men, old ass men who play in sports, y'all need to stay in y'all damn lanes and stop speaking on shit y'all don't know about. I'm about sick of these. All of a sudden, these millionaire former athletes trying to jump into blogger spaces and speak on things that we do professionally that I've been doing for years, and y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all just looking for moments to go viral. Now, speaking of viral, Lil Nas X is talking about the religious backlash he received over Jay Christ, and he said he's not sorry. So we're gonna break that down because he did an interview. Plus, Bob the drag queen, speaking of beefs, is beefing with Plain Jane from Drag Race. So we got that clip and why I'm Team Bob and what he said. Plus, a mandatory meeting. Shout out to her. She came out as transgender. So we're gonna talk about that and a whole lot more. But I do see we have a comment. Robert says, "Good morning," and I'll say, "Good morning" back. And now, without further ado, like I said, hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification button. Let's get right into the show. Hopefully, I will have the energy to muster. I'm going to ask y'all to try to help me get through the show because, like I said, I've been sick since this damn Madonna concert. So I went to go see the Queen, and I came back with the flu. Now, where they do that at? So anyway, so let me pull up my Instagram. So if y'all followed my social medias and all that other stuff, then you are aware that I went to go see the Madonna celebration tour. That I was at the concert. I took videos, I took photos. Facebook was getting my damn nerves because I was trying to upload a bunch of damn photos and videos and stuff, and it was just taking forever to upload. But finally, it went through. I even uploaded on my Instagram, so it was like two different versions of it. And yeah, it was just an overwhelming experience. It was just like so much energy that she had. Surprisingly, I was just like, this woman is 65 years old and has so much energy that night. And I think it's because she's been resting between shows. And I feel like, sis, you are not Teflon. You're a woman of a certain age. Yes, we know that you are one of the hardest working artists in the game. And you shouldn't sell yourself short on that. We, as fans, true fans, appreciate you. And we didn't want you to overexert yourself. And I'm glad that she didn't. Because yeah, she would do a little 1-2 step and stuff from, here, there, and everywhere. But for the most part, Madonna was taking it easy. She was singing live. That mic definitely was on because I heard it. She was singing. Even if the backing track was louder than her. Now I know a lot of people was getting all upset over the fact that during there were certain moments. Okay, so Takesha did come out and performed "Hung Up" with Madonna. I had to squint. I was like, "Is that Takesha?" Because I wasn't sure. But then when you see a Dominican chick up there with her damn clothes coming off her body, and shoving her tongue down Madonna's throat. I was like, okay, that's Takesha. So I was happy to see her, but I felt like a lot of the people in like I was surrounded by were not true hardcore Madonna fans because even the songs that weren't necessarily like the big hits, the Lies La Bonitas, the Rains, the Open Your Hearts, the early '80s hits. I noticed like they would sit their ass down during certain parts. I was up in there singing every damn song like the true fan. I got emotional during Live to Tell. That was a very heartbreaking moment because it was basically her going through, floating through, the arena while she was giving homage to all the people that we lost to AIDS, from Alvin Ailey on down. So say even her dance teacher, Christopher, excuse me, I think was the first person that she ever met that was gay, that kind of took her to a gay club and all that. She's always told that story. So seeing her break down on like the humble beginnings and all that stuff, where it was just like where her career has started and all that stuff, that to me it was just like I love when people just look back on their career and it's like, you know what? If it wasn't for all these things and if it wasn't all the things that I went through, and she even told about her experience of like living in New York in like an apartment, and then she was just like, my apartment would get broken into every week, and it was because she said she lived right over there by Madison Square Garden. Now, speaking of Madison Square Garden, she said the night that I was there was the 35th time she actually performed at MSG, which I was like, is no easy feat. Like, not many people get the opportunity to say that they performed 35 times at Madison Square Garden. So I feel like because it was her final show in New York at Madison Square Garden for this tour, that would make me want to be full of energy and want to work hard on giving people the show that they want to get. So I applaud her for pushing through and giving the fans what they wanted. And shout out to all the people that went on Twitter and retweeted and liked the post that I posted about her, talking about her nurse Marie, who helped nurse her back to health, and was talking about how the lady put up with her mess, wiped her ass, did all this other stuff, and how she drove her crazy over a lot of the stuff that was going on in regards of like her getting her life back on track. Of course, Madonna's never really told us what was the cause of the infection, what had happened, all this other stuff. But she's always spilling stories about what's been going on with her and her health and not taking life for granted and being there for her kids. And the fact that there was a heart wrenching moment. I think it was during Mother and Father, where she was talking about how she gets to be a mother to David and how the bond that they have and how easy like how close they are and the things that they've gone through, and she's like, oh, I get to be a mother to David, and also so it's just amazing to see like her close connection with her adopted children and how she's incorporated them into the show. Now I know a lot of people was pissed because they brought up, we'll talk about the Vogue section, the fact that y'all brought up Kelly Ripa and not Nikki and Donna. See, a lot of people, for those who probably aren't aware, Nikki Harris and Donna DeLory were Madonna's backup singers from way back in the day, like in the early, you know, stages of her career. Most people, you know her from them from the Truth or Dare era, and they've accompanied her on most of her tours. I think what was the last tour I think they were on? Was it the Drown World Tour? I think was the last time we may. I could be wrong, but I think is that the Drown World Tour was the last time that they were on stage together performing. And quiet as it's kept, I've always said like Nicki and Donna have always complimented Madonna's vocals whenever they perform in the studio, live, whatever. So I've always loved that kinship and that connection with them. I don't know if there's some beef. I don't know if there's some drama between the ladies, but it would have been nice to bring them up there. Maybe they didn't have enough, tens and chop cards for them to hold up there. But I really didn't care to see Kelly Ripa thirsty ass up there because she give me Andy Cohen with titties. It's just y'all just be too damn thirsty when it comes to y'all love and adoration for Madonna. And maybe Madonna loves people kissing her behind. So she had her up there. It was cute. I was like, okay, whatever. But it would have been nice to see Nicki and Donna up there. But I did hear that Nicki and Donna was hanging out with Josh Popper, who is Madonna's boo thing, the boxer. Now, speaking of which, before I move on to the next topics, I was gonna wear because it is freezing, and I've been like off and on with my, the chills 1 minute and then I'm hot the next. So I don't know if I'm going through menopause. Can men go through menopause? I don't know, but or is this sickness, child? But anyway, so I wanted to point out this shirt. This is the shirt that I wore to the tour, and it got a lot of compliments from a lot of the people that were there. They absolutely loved the shirt. One guy was like, "Did you make it?" I was like, "No, a friend of mine did." So Eric Alon, who you can look him up. Oh, maybe I should look. Oh, wait, hold on. He actually liked my post over this. But anyway, so Eric Alon Miami. I'm gonna pull up his page. So that way y'all go follow him. If y'all want some Madonna merch, you can definitely go over and hit him up. He makes some pretty good stuff. So yeah, so that's his page. And he made the shirt that I just showed y'all. A lot of people gave me compliments. A lot of people absolutely love the shirt. I was like, I'm gonna just keep it simple, just have Madonna and some rhinestones, and I'm gonna sit up there and I'm gonna just enjoy the show. I don't want to be going all out. Like there were some people that I did see men up in there who were dressed up in their full Madonna geesh, like their full Madonna drag, like old school Madonna, like back in the day, with the short dark hair and the black hat and the short shorts with the suspenders. So there were people in there that were really giving what needed to be given in regards of like doing full on Madonna drag, which I appreciate when the drag queens they come out and they support and stuff. So yeah, so if you want to basically follow him or whatever, definitely give him a holla and support local designers and stuff. Because funnily enough, when I was leaving and I was sitting there rolling my eyes and cackling, like I'm sitting there leaving Madison Square Garden and I'm seeing all these bums outside the arena trying to sell Madonna merch. All these, and clearly I'm like, this is not the merch that they are inside selling. This is some cheap knockoff bullshit that you're trying to get these damn tours to sit and buy off of y'all so y'all could, I guess, go buy your drugs or whatever the case. So I was like, I'm not supporting that foolishness. So, nevertheless, if y'all get a chance, because I don't know how long she's going to be on tour, I think up until April. If y'all get a chance, definitely get a ticket to the show. It is definitely a moment you will never forget. The last time I saw Madonna perform live was the Confessions tour. So, seeing her kind of give a tour that was retrospective in a sense, and looking back on her career and just seeing all these amazing moments throughout her tour was great. The show was flawless, I have to say too. There was one part where the music did kind of cut out for a second, and that was during Ray of Light, where she was up in the air rocking out. The music did cut out for literally 3 seconds, but it came back on. So that other than that, there was no technical issues. Oh, and before I forget, she did come on, she came on around 10 o'clock, and the show ended about 10 after midnight. So I didn't get home until like 2:30 in the morning. And that was because I took the train back and then I took an Uber. The Uber wasn't expensive, which was good. It was like $12, maybe 14. It was in that range. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna jump on an Uber. It's cold out here. Like, first of all, like I told you, it was like the beginning stages of me feeling like I was getting these flu-like symptoms. So it was free. I was like getting chills. I was like, oh no, I need to get in a car real quick because I'm not sitting out here waiting to see how long a damn bus, whatever. Like New York after midnight, the trains, the public transportation is a fucking mess. It's annoying. So I was like, okay, let me just jump in the Uber real quick. And it said a minute away. First of all, that minute felt like 12 minutes. I'm like, this is the longest minute I've ever had to wait for a goddamn Uber. But nevertheless, I got in the car. It took me to my house. And I have to say, it was a great experience. And so, like I said, if y'all ever get a chance to go see Madonna, definitely get that ticket. Is definitely something you definitely need to witness in your lifetime. Okay, so Felix says I'm wearing a shirt with a picture from the Fever video of her in this. I think you talked to me or showed me that, or either you showed it to me or you we talked about that before. I do remember you mentioning that. Okay, so now speaking of tours, Kylie Minogue appeared on Jennifer Hudson's show and revealed that she is going on. She's going to be kicking off a U.S. tour, and it's not the residency. The residency is residencying right now, but she's going to give us a proper U.S. tour. Now, shout out to Broadway World for this story. It says the Padam Padam singer chats about her Las Vegas residency and how it's a much more intimate setting compared to her tours, revealing she plans to do a U.S. tour soon. And she said, yes, I haven't got the dates yet, but we're working on it. And this is what she told, you know, Jennifer Hudson. And for me personally, the last time, and she's nominated, y'all know, for a Grammy this weekend, which I will definitely be watching, and I'll see if I'll try to do a show talk about the Grammys and all the other stuff this weekend. I'm definitely looking forward to the Grammys. So as far as like, Kylie and her situation, I really hope she wins a Grammy because it's well deserved. She does have one. I forget for what. Is it for King? Get You Out of My Head? It might be. But one of the things is I'm actually looking forward to this tour because the last time I saw her, well, I actually saw her twice. I saw the For You For Me tour, and then she did another show. She did two brief shows, and she did them both at the Hammerstein in New York. So that was a great moment. And so I know it was the For You For Me tour, and then she did, and I think it was like it was like a cut down version of the Aphrodite tour because she could bring the water stuff. And then she's done many, she's done two tours here. So I actually love that. I'm excited to see what she's gonna excuse me, what she's gonna bring in regards of this upcoming tour. I don't know if she's gonna do like well, Jennifer did ask her if she's gonna do like some big major tour. Me personally, as much as I love Kylie, I don't know if she could sell out a Madison Square Garden, or maybe she could in New York because New York queens love her. So she can come to New York and sell out a Madison Square Garden. Now, any other parts of the United States, I don't know because it's weird. Like her songs will be successful, but I feel like people are real wishy-washy when it comes to Kylie in America. So maybe she needs to do like smaller venues like a Radio City or a Hammerstein or something or another. So I don't know. I mean, I would want for her to perform at a Madison Square Garden because I look at her as that on that level. But Europe is a completely different, playing field than the United States. And the United States, like I said, is very wishy-washy when it comes to like embracing real talent. No shade to Taylor Swift, but it just seems like it's always all about her and Beyonce, and y'all don't see nobody else. So that's all I gotta say on that. So I'm actually looking forward to this tour. Whenever it drops, I'm sure it'll be later on this year. I will definitely be getting my ticket the minute they make that announcement. But I'm sure what she's gonna do is she's gonna do the US first. But I love the fact that this is the first time in a long time in her career that she's been heavily focusing on the United States and really making an impact. She never really was into that before. But it just seems like now there seems to be more of an emphasis of her wanting to push herself in America or the people that she has on her team doing it. And it's probably because she's independent. There's a lot of people that's independent. Usher's independent too. I had no idea because his new album is an indie. He's an indie act, and I said at this point, fuck a label. These labels are not interested in trying to help people succeed or have money or do anything. They want everybody to go broke or have no kind of support. So good luck, Kylie. I'm looking forward to this tour whenever you drop those dates, wherever they may be. Okay, so it said that she finishes the residency in May. They keep extending that residency. She performed in New York for Pride after Golden. Well, yeah, she's done Pride and other stuff, but that's different compared to a tour where you're traveling around the United States. And it says she performed at the same arena in Miami where I'm seeing Madonna when she came for the Aphrodite. Okay, so I guess she does have it. So I guess maybe what it'll be is that she'll have to tour areas that are heavily gay influenced. So the New Yorks and the Chicagos and the Miami, the city parts. So she could definitely turn a profit if she, did shows like that in a lot of those areas, or Philly and those type of places. Because Philly is gay, 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 honey. I know I was just out there. not too long ago. All right, so now let's get into this next topic because, child, Britney Spears, child, she had me cackling. So a couple of days ago, Justin Timberlake performed in New York, another free damn concert, because that's the only way I guess he can get people to pay attention to his music, is that he has to not charge people. So yeah, so he went and he performed at I believe Irving Plaza, and there was a clip of him saying, "I like to take the time out to apologize to absolutely effing nobody." After Britney Spears felt bad for him, and she went and said, "You know what? Because everybody out here is being shady towards him, and rightfully so. It's like she was just trying to take the high road, but it's like I love the fact that these fans refuse to take their foot off his neck because he's a dick. I've been saying this for years that Justin Timberlake is an opportunist and a dick who only cares about himself and his bottom line. And of course, Jessica Biel is going to stand by him. What the hell does she have going on? She ain't working. And when she do work, none of y'all care enough to watch whatever the hell she's a part of. All of her films have been duds. From Seven Heaven, when she was on that show, to Blade Trinity, which is the worst in the franchise. Although I did like her in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, I will say that. But I don't particularly care for her either. But whatever. She sits and tolerates his bullshit, even though he allegedly cheated on her with that actress from Raising Dion. Yeah, I ain't gonna let him forget that shit. So, so basically, after he said what he said, Britney took to social media because well, I should probably not jump the gun. So when the Selfish song came out, his song that I don't know anybody who cares enough to listen to the song, but he's out here promoting the hell out of it. I don't even think the song is on the charts. I haven't looked, nor do I care to look. But if y'all know what number it is on the charts, let me know in the comments. So he did the song called Selfish, and out of spite, the Britney fans decided to bring out an old 13-year-old, song called Selfish from Britney. So I guess she felt bad and was like, you know what, congratulations on the song. I actually like the song, whatever. She was trying to take the high road. But then he decided to come out and he want to play up this whole, I'm the bad boy type thing. And it's like, Justin, first of all, that has never been your style. You have never come across as someone who, it has this bad boy persona. I feel like there's an issue with the marketing. I feel like you need to go back to the drawing board with your team and you need to figure out who you are as an artist. I don't even think he's ever known who he was as an artist. When Justin Timberlake first came out, he always looked like he was a poor man's Michael Jackson and Prince. Bringing sexy back. That's why Prince had to read it. It was like sexy never left. And he ain't like it. Because it's like, yeah, you don't have to be forcing sexy down somebody's throat. You either have it or you don't. But of course, your insecure, non-sexual wanting ass, because he don't give me ain't nothing sexy I get from Justin Timberlake. But when you doing all of that and stuff, now it's just like, okay, you trying to play this whole bad boy persona. So I don't know what black people you hanging around with when you thinking like you got that whole faux shiz thug type of mentality, but sir, it does not fit you. Stay in your lane. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. You already have the demographic at this point. You're what, 42? He just turned what, 41, 42? I don't know. I know he just had a birthday on the 29th of January. So he's in his early 40s. So at this point, it's just like, okay, who is Justin's demographic? A bunch of damn housewives at this point, 40 something housewives who grew up listening to him in NSYNC. Those are his fans. Stick with that. They're not out here paying attention to all this buffoonery and foolishness. Because if you really thinking that you're going to get this younger demographic into your music, that's not happening. All they care about is Ice Spice and her damn fart song. That's all they care about at this point. They care about Ice Spice. They care about Nicki and Meg. They care about this whole drama. They ain't think about no Justin damn Timberlake. So just stick to the rivers and the lakes, like I said, in the words of TLC, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. Do your thing, and that's that. But Brittany came in and she threw a little shade. And she said this. She said, someone told me someone was talking ish about me on the streets. Do you want to bring it to the court or will you go home crying to your mom like you did last time? I'm not sorry. And um, basically, it just shows a basketball hoop. Now, if y'all don't remember, a while back, I think this was during the memoir, Brittany went and brought up the fact that I think it was in, I don't know if it was in the memoir or it was somewhere, because I'm trying to remember. I think it was in the memoir. But she basically talked about how Justin Timberlake was mad because she beat him in basketball, that she was better at basketball than he was. But if you really think about it, like when she talks about it in the book, their father, Jamie, was very much on their brother Brian and into the whole sports thing. And Brittany was into sports as well. She was, into gymnastics, she was into basketball, she was into a lot of those things. And you get mad because a girl beat you in basketball, that's a you situation that you got to work out. They ain't got shit to do with her. So I love the fact that she continues to throw this in his face and it pisses him off. And the fact of the gag is they keep saying like Brittany, that Justin is pissed because Brittany continues to overshadow him. What if you actually wasn't out here acting like a complete and utter jerk? Then maybe people would have some type of sympathy and empathy. But I've always said from the beginning that Justin is a dick. I don't feel like he's ever been sorry for it. If people, he said he was sorry, he said he was sorry. I'm like, please take that sorry, that apology, that fake ass apology, and shove it up your ass because I did not feel that it was sincere at all. I felt like it was just his way of coming out and saying stuff because he wanted to save face. I know body language and judgment and character. I watch how people move, and he basically has showed time and time again who he is as a human being. So how long before y'all just going to continue to make excuses for him before you realize he's nothing more than a damn dick? So I say this, I washed my hands of Justin a long time ago. I've always thought he was trash. You could throw him in the bin along with that upcoming album. I won't be listening to it. I could care less about his new album. He's trash. He looked like he got Down syndrome, and he could just go, fly a kite somewhere. So, we do have comments. I would say he did that the next day. Jessica Biel was also a non-partner. Don't even get me started on that damn movie. Yeah, someone said most of his fans are now 40-year-old soccer moms. I mean, quiet as it's kept. Erica Cobb of Daily Blast Live said his demographic is 40-year-old women. The thug attitude isn't hot anymore, and it's not the 90s or the 2000s. And yeah, this is like I just feel like he's someone who has been gone from the industry for a long period of time. And I feel like a lot of times when you have a lot of these, I guess it would be considered a veteran act because you are over 40. You've been doing this for over 2 decades. You need to kind of read the room and understand where you fit into this current climate in regards of, pop stardom. Are you going to try to be this wannabe thug type, or are you going to go more of the Usher route and just, you know what? I'm just going to ride the wave. I'm just going to evolve. I'm just going to keep it to the music. I'm going to keep performing. But he's never been as good as Usher, child. That's why I'm actually looking forward to this Super Bowl halftime performance next week and seeing Usher perform because he's the one that I always be rooting for. Fuck a damn Justin Timberlake. Charmaine even said kids aren't listening to artists that I listen to. I'm not even checking for yeah, me either. That's why I said I'm not interested in Ice Spice. I don't get it. But this younger generation, that's what y'all like. If you like it, I love it. That's my go-to line for a lot of things that I don't get and I don't understand. So I'm like, but then again, when I was growing up and we listened to Nelly and Little Kim and all this other stuff, I'm sure our parents said the same damn things about the music that we listened to growing up. So to me, it's in the same vein of like, you know, what my parents didn't get when I was that age, I'm not gonna get with this current generation. What is it, Gen Alpha? Because I don't think it's Gen Z. Gen Z is or millennial. Millennial is Candace Owens, because I know she was trying to throw shade at or Candace Owens, as I like to call her. She was trying to throw shade at I said, girl, stay in your lane. You're not gonna sit up here and speak on other black women because you're not even black. Like you're another one that gives me, long teeth and baby teeth and long gums. Tim Scott, like you just a sellout to your own goddamn people. Like, don't even speak on shit that got to do in our community if you don't understand it. Cause just because you got black skin don't necessarily mean you black. DJ Envy even said at 46, he's not even saying far. He's just saying it's the new space track. And to me, it's just like, okay, y'all just doing dumb shit to go viral. But these kids out here like the stupidness. Justin's always played a character. And that's why, and I feel like you hit the nail on the head when you said that he's a poser. I think that is the reason why I've never really gravitated towards him because I've never really gotten authentic, you know, idea of who he is as an artist or as a person. I've always felt that he's a poser. He's being somebody he's not. He's playing this game because, the industry loves like these blue-eyed soul. I don't even know if he got blue fucking eyes, but I'm just saying they like these blue-eyed soul type of R&B singer, pop, whatever. And because you think you work with a bunch of damn black people on some music, that gives you street cred. And it's like, Timberland and Pharrell, child, they ain't been in the hood in how long? And we supposed to believe you like, get off my line with that foolishness. So to me, I'm like, I've never really felt like this was you being authentically yourself through your music. I understand if you're influenced by Michael Jackson, if you're influenced by Prince, but it just always felt like the songs were a little too on the nose with stuff that they already had done. So it's just like, okay, this sounds like a track that Michael Jackson probably was supposed to record and just left it on the cutting room floor, which quiet as it's kept, I did hear once upon a time that a lot of the songs on Justified were songs that Michael Jackson rejected. And Justin ended up performing them songs. So that may be playing the whole part in the whole poser situation. Have you heard the Nicki diss track I sent you? No. I did not hear that yet. But we're about to get into Nicki Minaj because and that's the next topic because Azealia Banks has something to say about her. So yeah. Wait, let me get to my banner because I'm just like trying to read the comments. Okay, so now let's get to this next story. With Azealia Banks, weighed in. Now, I did play a clip the other day, and a lot of people thought it was recent. I was like, no, it's not recent. The one where she was at Home Depot going off on Nicki Minaj. I said, no, that was probably, I think that was about from last year because I do remember that, but I resurfaced it to make a point about Nicki's behavior, lashing out at people, and those other stuff, which excuse me, I do believe that is what she's doing. I believe that she's been hurt by people behind the scenes in the industry, and she's lashing out at everybody who will listen. Now, do I think that Jay-Z might be the root? Based off of something that Azealia Banks did say, I don't know. I kind of feel like she may have a point. And I know a lot of people be looking at Azealia like she crazy, but child, we're going to play this clip as a class. And I want y'all to decide if you feel she might be correct or she may have a valid point in some of the stuff that she's saying.
I realized it when she was fucking frying the can of cream corn in the Teflon pan. I was just like, what in the welfare is happening right
Oh, let me refresh this again because I'm like, girl, why is this acting up?
It's pretty clear that Nicki's fucked up. Like she's like fucked up financially, Okay,
come on. I don't know. Something going on. This damn internet is pissing me off today. But what I'm gonna do is I got another clip where she was talking about Jay-Z. Now this one, hopefully it will work. But yeah, so I don't know. Today is just this shit is a hot ass mess with this damn internet. Is interneting. Now let's pull up this other clip because I'm like I'm giving up on that other one. I don't know what's going on. So
now, when you really dig down into it, Nicki be like sweating Jay in a different type of way. Like low key, she be like low key on his dick. Like it's so funny. I'm really good at reading body language and stuff like that. I could see in the Feeling Myself video, like Beyonce's kind of just like laughing at her, like, huh, bitch, yeah, like you wish. And when they did the performance together, Beyonce's like, no, I'm gonna wear pink, you wear black. She's like, oh, Nika. It's funny. It's funny. Like Beyonce's just sunning her, like, like little bitch. Jay-Z has kind of positioned himself in this way where almost every type of female artist, female urban artist feels like she needs.
This shit is annoying. I'm not going to sit up in here and try to figure out why the audio is acting a hot ass mess. But anyway, so to basically sum it all up, basically she was saying that she believes that the root of the reason why these two are fighting is because Jay-Z has always had this way of presenting himself in the culture as a daddy warbucks type of figure, and was basically saying that a lot of the women in the industry, I don't even think it's just women, I think it's just rappers in general, that they're looking for some sort of mentorship. But I think that it might be, well, we'll stick with the female rappers. A lot of them is that they have a lack of a father figure and they look to Jay for that kind of validation and guidance. And she said this, she said, when you really dig down deep into it, Nicki be sweating Jay in a different type of way. Low key, she be on his D. I'm really good at reading body language, and I could see in the Feeling Myself video, Beyonce's kind of laughing at her. We're not even gonna get into the alleged story about Beyonce getting with Jay when she was young, but it's another conversation for another day. Um, and Banks has had her issues with Minaj in the past, but sometimes I be feeling, what, it could be that. So with Jay-Z positioning himself in a way where every female artist basically needs his approval, because Jay, in a way, he has an album called The Blueprint, right? So I think a lot of times people look at Jay-Z as the blueprint of hip hop. Well, at least, excuse me, one of the ones who's still alive. Because you could say Biggie, Tupac, whatever, but they're not here on this earth with us. But Jay-Z is kind of like that person that a lot of people look up to and want that kind of mentorship. So she feels like Nicki is really pissed because Megan got the approval. She's a part of Rock Nation, and she's always wanted to be a part of that whole situation. Now, I don't know what Jay's reasons for that may be, why he didn't choose Nicki. Maybe they had a falling out. Maybe it was something. Maybe she didn't give him none. I don't know what it was or what the case could be. But maybe there's something transpired between those two where he was just like, you know what? You're good with what you got. Or maybe it could have been the fact with her being a part of Young Money and all that other stuff. He wasn't willing to rock the boat over there with some stuff, especially, with the people she was rocking with, where she had to go down south to get put on because New York, she wasn't really making it out here for some reason. So it could be that, but I feel like, and then some people say, oh, well, it's not necessarily her fighting with Megan is the issue. But I'm like, she went on a whole 4-day rant about Megan Thee Stallion. So clearly she is the issue. So you can't sit out here and say that Megan's not the issue. She's lashing out at the behind the scenes execs. If those are the people that's irritating you, then say that. Stick to that situation and don't just try to make it all about, excuse me, that it's a Cardi problem, that it's a Megan problem, that is this artist problem, that is that artist problem. If you got a problem with executive behind the scenes, white people pulling strings and using other artists to get a piece of that pie that Nicki has built and worked so hard for, then that's what needs to be said. She also implied that something going on with them that surgery she had on her ass, that it could be like Nicki might be broke, that the procedure she needs to get that situation. Because remember, K Michelle had issues with her butt too, and had to spend a shit ton of money to constantly get that stuff taken out because whatever God knows what she put up in her ass, that affected her. And my thing is always this: now, when you get these type of surgeries and you do this stuff, does that affect your mental health down the road? Because you putting all this type of foreign stuff in your body, does that mess with your brain, with your mental? So it kind of makes me wonder, is like, okay, so is part of Nicki's unhingedness coming from not only the frustrations of the industry and the people doing shady shit behind the scenes towards her, as she claims, but is it also, you know, implications of the surgery? Is it affecting her mental health? So these were things that Azealia Banks was trying to point out, and the fact that I guess that, you know, Jay-Z doesn't really publicly co-sign a female rapper, and that, he's basically made Megan someone that he's given the seal of approval and has on Rock Nation. That has made Nicki jealous. Especially when you're the pretty girl who's been given everything your entire life and rolled down the red carpet and told that you're amazing, you're this, you're that. And then when somebody else gets the thing that you want, instead of being happy for them, I mean, naturally, I would be upset and jealous too, but I'm not going to let nobody know that that's how I feel because you're not going to have me out here looking crazy and talking about, oh, you're a jealous, did it. Like, you're not going to put that off on me. I'm going to keep that internalized. But I'm going to be low key letting them, okay, now this hurt in my situation that you decided to choose this person over me. But I was like, okay, well, if you don't see it for me, then my fans see it for me. I see it for me. But this whole out of controlness where she's getting her fans to dox people's cemeteries and all of that stuff. But wait a minute now. She lost a damn, patriarch as well. Like Megan lost her matriarch. She lost her patriarch. So if you out here telling people to go desecrate cemeteries and shit, don't be surprised when they do it to your daddy, sir. I mean, ma'am. So I'm sure this story is going to go on and on and on. Quite frankly, I am sick and tired of talking about, this situation with her. I'm tired of talking about this fight between who we talking. Okay, I'm sick. That's like, who we talking about? I'm sick and tired of talking about Nicki and Meg. Like I'm ready to move on. I feel like there's so much bigger fish to fry out here. I'm over these two. Like, unless we're gonna come to some sort of resolution or whatever the case is, let's move on from it. I'm tired of my feed being bombarded with the bullshit between them. Megan is not responding. This has become a one-sided fight since Megan dropped the song. Let's all move on from it, please. Okay, so we got some comments. Hate to say it, but I agree with Azealia, Drake, Wayne, and others abandoning her. She has no support. That's why she goes to her barbs. And to me, the fact of the matter is that's not a good judgment of character to be relying on your barbs because you gaslight them, you use them, and they think that, oh, well, she really listens to us and she really cares and support. It's like, no, you should not be looking to your fans especially when a lot of them ain't even rational thinkers, the way they be acting upon social media and shit. That I don't feel like that's a good enough. I mean, you can't confide in your husband, you can't confide in, you don't have no friends or people in your inner circle that you can confide in that really give you that support. Because to me, it's just like I don't think it's a smart thing to put so much energy into like, oh yeah, I go to my barbs because they truly support me. No, they using your ass. They looking for an opportunity to try to get some. Oh, if I truly support and I just blindly go along with anything, because that's not even a fan, that's a stand. Like to me, it's just like when you just blindly go along with whatever the person does and excuse the behavior, then it's like, well, what are they learning? And what are you learning? You're just excusing behavior because you think, oh, well, Nicki Minaj gave me a shout out or Nicki Minaj liked my tweet. So I feel important for 5 minutes because I'm too am not getting that love and support and all that other mess in my own private life, in my own personal life. So this lady understands me. And it's like, no, y'all, there's a whole give and take usation situation going on here. So I don't know. I just feel like it's dangerous when you start to confide too much into your fan base. Go to a therapist is what I gotta say. But I also agree with petty pop culture. The way that we're watching Nikki go on a psychotic breakdown, she just needs to go away. And most people are selling their tickets. Yeah, well, we'll see how well that tour does. She should be rehearsing for her tour instead of causing all this drama. But I think she needs to go to rehab and get some medication to calm her down. Yeah, she's going through a whole mental breakdown or whatever the case is. So yeah, she needs to work. She needs to figure out what's going on in her life. I don't know if it's postpartum depression. A lot of people don't get that situation diagnosed, especially when you have a child or whatever. Like you need to be a mother to your child. You need to be a wife to your husband because you see to protect that situation at all costs. Being married to who you married to. So you need to focus on that and less on the other foolishness that's going on in social media because this is all white noise. For me, the blueprints of hip hop are Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah. hmm And Sailor Mermaid is in the building. Oh, I guess I'll check it out later once I'm done with the show. All right, so now let's get into my girl. Let me just muster the energy. Let's talk about my girl, Wendy Williams. How you doing? I told you I'm under the weather, but I was gonna muster the energy to do that. So Wendy Williams dropped the official trailer for. Oh wait, it's this one that's three. There's a 3-minute clip of there's a 3-minute trailer, but we're gonna play the other one. We're gonna play the Twitter one because I feel like it's a little shorter. But anyway, so this morning I was putting the topics and stuff together, and I saw Wendy Williams trending. I'm like, wait a minute, I know something bad didn't happen to her because we've been talking about Wendy Williams sporadically as of late. But so I went over on the Twitter and I looked, and it said a trailer for her new YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. Her new Lifetime documentary. I think it's a 2-parter called "Where Is Wendy Williams?" And she basically says she has no money. And then you see her on this downward spiral where she downed like 3/4 of a bottle of alcohol in a day by herself. Her son is talking about how she's surrounding herself with yes people. And then, yeah, when I've been talking about where's her sister Wanda? What's going on with Wanda? And then the fact of the matter was, Wanda's in the trailer talking about how she's been trying to take care of her sister and all of stuff. So it's good to see that her sister is in the trailer trying to help her sister out, and how Wendy is surrounding herself with all these people who have taken advantage of her. I still believe that no good ass ex-husband of hers. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this trailer, and hopefully it does what it does, that it won't be acting a damn fool, because I ain't got time, child. Okay, so let's roll this clip.
Oh my God, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to sit down again.
She was put in front of a judge and given a guardian. That was when they took her away from us.
I have no money, and I'm going to tell you something. If it happens to me, it could happen to you.
As her family, we were all sitting on the sidelines watching, and she was crying out for help.
Did you drink this whole thing today?
Keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there.
My mom, she always talks about how she wants to work. She has people around who are yes people and allowing this to continue.
This is all too much. Go! Bye! I have no idea where we are. This doesn't look like anything familiar.
I think she's losing memory. Have you guys noticed that?
How dare him? I control men. I weigh 138.
Anybody could look at her and tell this is not just Avalon. There's something more going on. I miss my family.
I'll be here. Please be here.
No matter how many times somebody may fall down, you got to lift them back up.
We all make choices in life. We all go through our challenges. She's still a person.
How you doing?
That's my sister.
There have been random people around you,
Stealing money from me.
getting money, whatever the case may be.
Enough.
Can you tell me where your sister is?
No, I don't know the exact location of where she is.
I feel like the guardian has not done a good job of protecting my mom.
My life. My life.
Right now, she's weak and vulnerable. And she needs to be around people who aren't going to take advantage of that.
I have no friends. You know how many people come out to support you? You know how many people love you? No, I don't.
Everything is really good.
I know.
I think that the guardianship system is broken. We are her family. And you tell me that I'm not capable of taking care of my sister. What would you do? What should I do?
I love being famous. But family is everything. So good to see you again, Dad.
It's good to see you, babe.
Everything.
Nope. I'll definitely be watching that when that comes out. But which is in February. Well, this month, because we are in February. And what date is it? Oh, February 24th and 25th at 8 p.m. And from the last one we spoke on this conversation, Miss Jones revealed that Wendy is allegedly in Florida recuperating. So I really hope at the end of the day that she's getting all the help that she needs, because like I've said, Wendy is someone who is the best to ever do it in this space that I'm doing it in. And this is, watching that trailer, it was really like the first time It was really heartbreaking to see. Now I remember they were putting something or another like that together because I remember talking about it last year where they were talking about with the documentary, they were putting the whole show together, that she was filming something and her family was going to be up in there. And people were saying it wasn't a good idea, whatever the case was. And to me, good, bad, and indifferent, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. I'm actually glad that we're getting to see all sides of who she is, and then we'll just root for her to get better. So I'm hoping that we get to the root of, okay, so why is she on this downward spiral? What's triggering her memory loss? Like, she was in Manhattan until now she doesn't recognize any of the area in which she's in. And she's been living in that area for the longest. So it's like her memory's deteriorating. She's self-medicating with alcohol. She has no access to her money. I want to know, why is it that Wells Fargo decided to put a lock on her finances, where she doesn't have control over her own wherewithal, her bearings, her money, and who was a part of this whole conservatorship? Because I feel like if her sister and any members of the family, like the son, want to sit and help Wendy get better, then that should be encouraged. And sidebar, I am happy that Kelvin is going broke and that him and Sharina are floundering around like a fish out of water, trying to figure out how they're going to take care of their shit financially. Because I feel like that man ain't never really loved her. I feel like he's a low down dirty dog because he cheated on her throughout their entire freaking marriage. And Wendy looked the other way, and then she's sitting up there crying to about how she misses her family. So I'm thinking she loved the idea of having like this whole family this illusion of what a family looked like, but it was a toxic situation that she was in. So hopefully we get to the root of everything. Hopefully we get to the bottom of it all. And I'm wishing her a speedy recovery and I don't need her to come back and do pop culture. Like, I don't need her to come back and do a podcast. I don't need her to worry about any of that stuff right now. I need her to worry about getting her mental health in order. I need her to get her regular health in order and focus on getting her life back the way it needs to be. It ain't always about trying to be out here and getting a job and rising for the phoenix of like a phoenix in the ashes in that situation. Worry about your health and everything first, because that's the most important thing. So shout out to Wendy. I'm looking forward to this documentary. And it just hurts my heart to see her in that predicament. So how you doing, sis? Sailor Mermaid said, "I'm happy that this is happening because more and more people are seeing the vile, despicable person she is along with her fan base." Oh, you talk about the Barbs, child. If she had postpartum and this is her first, hopefully she doesn't have no more kids because it gets worse. Well, she a woman of a certain age. Once women start getting in their 40s, you got to start worrying about them eggs a little bit. So, um, I don't know if we'll see Nicki have more kids. I mean, if she does, congratulations, sis, on your next baby, if that's the plan. But I don't know. I don't see her having more than one child. Crazy how so many folks normalized her issues while she was on TV. Yeah, because she was showing signs and stuff when she was on the show. Even there was one point where she was sitting in the Hot Topics chair, drunk, and Norman was trying his best to get her through it. But we was looking at her like, sis, what is going on? It kind of also makes you wonder what was the real gag behind that whole Halloween episode when she passed out. Was she self-medicating then? Because there were people that said that they would find empty liquor bottles she was hiding in her office. I don't know if they said it was up in the ceiling because she tall, so she could shove stuff up there. So when he was out here self-medicating for a long damn time, and that is something that people tend to do when you're going through a period of depression, especially when you have struggles and drama in your marriage. And I always said Kevin was a piece of shit, so I never particularly cared for that husband of hers. All right, so let's get into Shannon Sharpe sticking his nose where it don't belong. So Shannon Sharpe got the internet all fired up after comparing Beyonce to Taylor Swift. Now, Swift has brought up a lot of attention to the NFL from those who otherwise wouldn't be interested, thanks to her relationship with Travis Kelce or the Kansas City Chiefs, saying the attention that she brings to the people, the eyes that she brings, and don't even watch the game of football. It's crazy what she's been able to do for the NFL. This is what co-host Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, said. Tell the other person that's going to do that. Sharpe added while referencing reports that she's bought $331 million in value to the NFL so far. And Johnson goes, Beyonce, not like this, Sharpe shot back. These 8 to 15-year-old eyeballs. Ocho, I love Beyonce, but Beyonce ain't moving the needle like this chick. Ocho, she's the closest thing to moving the needle like Michael Jackson that we've seen. This is it. Chill. If he don't stop shucking and jiving with this bullshit, because I'm about to get in his ass in a minute, but let me finish. Johnson told him to reel it back a little bit and insisted that Beyonce is capable of moving the needle just as much as Swift, if not more. And he goes, no, she doesn't. Not like Taylor. Taylor Swift, I mean, she's a different animal. Beyonce is phenomenal. She went on to claim that the NFL would want Taylor Swift to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show over Beyonce. That's what he said. Jay-Z and Rihanna combined. Sharpe insisted that Swift also turned down the opportunity to perform. Just the facts. It's no secret that Taylor Swift has brought a lot of eyes to the Kansas City Chiefs. And we'll say this. Here's the thing. Now, Beyonce and Taylor Swift are icons in their own right. They move the needle in their own right. But let's be clear. The same demographic that actually listens to Taylor's music would be the same demographic that would watch football. Meaning a lot of little girls belong to a lot of those boys, those white boys that watch the football, or they have kids who listen to Taylor Swift. When I've gone, okay, so I work at Madison Square Garden. So a lot of times when I hear when they're playing the music and all that other stuff, Taylor Swift, they will play Taylor Swift there. They have the cheerleaders, they dancing to Taylor Swift. The kids be up in there dancing and they get into it. So for them to sit and say that she does move the needle in a way, because the same demographic that will be into the NFL in so many ways will be into a Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift hits middle American white people. Those are the people who are basically into that. Now, in regards to the conversation about her triggering MAGA, I have to say I absolutely love every aspect of that she is triggering the maggots with the fact that she's getting a lot of people to vote, and they're scared because they want Trump for God. For what reason? I have no idea why they would want Trump to run another damn 4 years. So y'all want our democracy to be just in the toilet, so that way y'all could stick it to the libs, because that's what they get off on. Mind you, they have no clear idea of what they want to do with the country, society, moving the needle forward in our nation. So for him to compare Beyonce to and also on top of that, Taylor Swift is still relatively young. She's in her 30s. She still touches onto those, she still hits that market of young girls who love her music. So for them to sit up in here and act like, well, Beyonce doesn't move the needle. So every time Beyonce gets out there and does something, it's a moment. It's a whole cultural phenomenon, especially with the Renaissance era. And plus, at this point in Beyonce's career, she ain't trying to move no needle, or she's not trying to prove nothing to anybody, least alone Shannon damn Sharpe. So I don't understand what he was getting at with this whole thing. I just think if you want to prop up Taylor Swift, go ahead and do that. But you don't need to kind of throw shade or try to dog someone else just to prove your point. And so, yes, it is true. The fact of the matter that because Taylor is dating Travis Kelce, she has brought a lot of attention to the Super Bowl and the NFL, and the fact that Travis and the Kansas City Chiefs, they're about to perform in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So that's great. And, I'm sure they'll be making sure that they get her on film in that box, cheering her boyfriend on while they're out there performing during the Super Bowl. And yeah, she did turn down halftime because she feels like she's not ready to do halftime. I feel like in maybe the next year or two, we will see Taylor Swift out here doing halftime. And when she does, good for her. But I just don't understand why we have to consistently pit two strong, influential pop acts against each other. Beyonce does what she does over there. Taylor does what she does over there. Let both these ladies be great. I'm tired of the comparisons. I'm tired of these old ass people like the Shannon Sharpes with their ashy ass ankles out here talking some bullshit when they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Stay in your lane, sir. And just continue to interview people like Cat Williams and Usher. And stop talking about conversations you don't know nothing about. Okay? Okay, so Stella Murray says, I miss Wendy. Yes, sometimes she goes far and sometimes she needs to be checked, but she was the best in her lane and she kept it 100. And that's something. And that's what I loved about her too, is that she kept it honest. Funny how seeing the same people who were praising her demise are now saying they want her back. The fakeness of it all. Uh-huh. Oh, so Felix says Taylor is about 35. But yeah, that's still a good number where you still have the finger on the pulse of the younger kids. Beyonce is 42. So she's not out here trying to move needles and create those cultural impacts. I mean, she's doing it whenever she puts out an album and she promotes it and she does what she does with her music. That's what she's doing with that. She's not out here being like, oh, well, I'm trying to change the NFL and stuff. Because it's like, okay, so while you're talking about how she's bringing people into watching the NFL, her husband is producing halftime, Beyonce's. So, Shannon, if you're gonna talk some stuff, you need to talk what you're talking, or understand what you're talking about. Beyonce is the closest thing to move the needle since Michael and Janet. Exactly, because I don't see like Taylor standing on stage for a millisecond, or like how Michael Jackson used to jump out on stage. Remember that back in the day? And people would literally fake and they be crying, all kinds of emotions. I don't see nobody doing that at no Taylor Swift concert. I do see like people get closest to that when it comes to Beyonce, that feeling of goosebumps and all that other stuff. So, yep, and like Madonna, she is, in my opinion, the last, as my friend says, my friend Angel, she is the last of the Elm Street children. You know, he says that like when it comes to like the icons that we have left. She's the last of the Elm Street children. Why do you think Shannon really blocked Cardi? Oh, because we talk about them ankles. I don't think he blocked Al. I know he blocked Claudia and he blocked T.S. Madison because T.S. Madison mentioned that. And then she guest hosted. I am feeling, I have to say, since doing this show, like keeping the momentum and stuff going, I am feeling a little better. Because in the beginning, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna push through to this show. So yeah, for those of you who are just now tuning in, I remember I told you I was supposed to do a show on Wednesday to talk about the Madonna concert and stuff. And it's in the beginning of the show. If you haven't caught it up yet, you can watch it back in the replay. I ended up going to the Madonna concert and came back with the damn flu. I was like, somebody in there got me sick. And if I find out who it is, I'm gonna cuss that. Well, how am I gonna find out? I'm in a room with like thousands of people. So I'm not gonna know who it was. But yeah, it was like all of a sudden, towards the end of the concert, I wound up with like chills. And that concessions is expensive too. I want to give me some. I had two vodkas. Yeah, two vodka sodas. I did one double, one single. Them drinks ain't cheap. The first one cost me $40. The second one cost me 20. I was like, chill. But anyway, the disrespect is something else. And that's why I said we're not gonna sit up in here and disrespect these ladies. That's why Shannon and them ankles be getting on my damn nerves. Because he like showing them shits all wearing shoes with no socks. All right, so now let's get into this team. So Lil Nas X went and did an interview with Jay Shetty. It's called On Purpose Podcast with Jay Shetty. I watch his podcast a couple of times, depending on who's on there. And he explained that he felt the messaging of his song, Jay Christ, was taken out of context. He said Jay Christ was this thing that artistically was just supposed to be like, I'm returning, I'm back like him. You know what I mean? He said it turned into this whole thing where it was just me trying to dunk on Christians or something. And that was never what it was. Never. Lil Nas agreed with some of the backlash, saying that the anger over the video of him eating communion wafers looks really bad on paper, adding that he did properly apologize for releasing the video. That was a thing that I thought was just a little jokey, fun video. I also had to think about how many of my family members are Christian, like my grandmothers and stuff, and like aunties and things like that. And I'm like, why do they see this as that too? If they do, that's really messed up and it makes me sad. So I think he was more or less affected by his family response to the video more so than the fan response. Because he's like, I don't know you motherfuckers. So regardless of what y'all say, it's water off a duck's back. I'm gonna still live my life regardless. So, but his family coming and being like, okay, Nas, what are you doing? And my thing is this. That's why I said before, when you're going to do a video and you're going to use religious imagery, especially like, okay, so I have to bring it to this, but because Madonna has solidified the whole bringing religious imagery into her music and her videos and her tour, because she did bring a lot of, there was a couple of religious imagery that she brought into the tour. Like I loved that section of the show where it was like the merry-go-round, and you had the dancers that were like Christ-like, and it was the Like a Prayer interlude part. So that was another part of the tour, excuse me, that I absolutely love seeing that piece. And I also love the act of contrition thing that she did that was in I'm going to tell you a secret. It was in that tour, but she brought it in this tour and remixed it. So I love that. So I love how she was bringing a lot of old stuff. But anyway, nevertheless, let's not talk about Madonna. I want to get to the point that I want to make about her. When she would use religious imagery into her work, it always made sense as to, like, she knew what she was doing when she was incorporating that imagery into her work. Lil Nas X, it felt like, okay, so now you're trying to jump on something to be controversial, and you're not understanding or having a clear understanding of what the symbolism of the bread being the body and the wine being the blood of Christ and what that all means. So I understand, like he said, he's not religious, that he took more of a spiritual approach, especially, growing up and being gay and trying to understand his, where he fit into the world. Because the documentary that's on no, not Netflix, it's on HBO Max. I know everybody calls it Max, but it's still gonna be HBO Max to me. So the documentary he just released on HBO Max really gave me an idea, an inside look into who he is as an artist. So I truly appreciate what he's got going on. And I understand, because he's like, it's easy to become famous these days. The hardest part is to maintain it. And I feel like that's probably what all that is. He's trying to find a way to maintain the fame and keep all that stuff going, rather than, whatever the case may be. So my thing is, if you're going to incorporate religious imagery or whatever the case is, at least if you're not sure, ask your team or ask people who's in your vicinity to let you know, okay, so what does all this stuff mean? Because you're gonna be out here looking crazy, and they be like, oh, you just trying to do stuff to be a troll or controversial, which is the argument that a lot of people have, and rightfully so. So he said he didn't apologize for the song or the music video because he stood by his intended messaging, saying the message turned around and I didn't know how to do anything with it. It wasn't my chaos anymore. It was the world's, and anything anybody said was true because that's who I am as a person. I'm just, excuse me, I'm just showing I want to make these people mad. And so everybody can run with that. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can say as many things as I want, but knowing my history, they look right, I look wrong. So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, also, you can't worry about how people receive your art. I put it out there. I said what I said in the art. You take it as you take it however you take it. I can't control how you receive something, because the way you receive something could be different than how I receive something. I understood what he was doing. A lot of people took offense to what he was doing. I wasn't bothered, because it's like, you're seeing one thing, you're seeing it all. So I'm just curious to see, like, what he's got coming up with this upcoming album. The sophomore album thing is like the big thing that everybody, be on pins and needles about. Can he really outshine and outweigh and outdo himself with that first album? Because I heard the first album, it was all right. But does he have that it factor? Does he have what it takes to be the next big star? And ain't a lot of big stars out here these days, especially this current generation. Like, I don't know. I mean, I see the potential in Lil Nas X, but I feel like as a openly queer artist, he's really got to bring it. Well, I told you I'm looking forward to Cakes to Killer's new album, because I see he posted the video for his stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But Nas, I will be looking forward to hearing this album and what it is that you're going to be bringing with this record, and we'll see. I think he's apologizing, but I guess he's still figuring himself out. Yeah, and he's also young. So he's going to be, I guess, out here apologizing and all that good stuff. Okay, so hold on. I was gonna say I need this thing. Okay, so I'm just making sure it works. All right, so now speaking of situations, we got a beef going on between the Drag Race girls. So apparently Bob the Drag Queen and Plain Jane are fighting on social media. When I saw this, I was like, what? So apparently they were reviewing the second episode of RuPaul's Drag Race season 16, as in Bob the Drag Queen and Monet Exchange. Because, they've been having to do it via Zoom, satellite, whatever the hell you want to call it, because Bob is on tour with Madonna and Monet Exchange is doing what she's doing. So Bob and Monet shared a few critiques regarding Plain Jane's Burger Finger talent show number. And here's what Bob had to say. Now, I want y'all to hear what he had to say because I cackled and I was like, sir, or oh wait, because I think Bob goes by they them pronouns, right? I actually agree with what Bob had to say. So hold on, let's play this clip.
Jane's burger finger was trying harder to be stupid than she actually is. I just don't like this direction where Drag Race is going. It feels like at one point in time, someone said, "You're just so stupid, and we love that. You're such a dummy." And now a lot of girls are like trying to make being stupid random and like dumb. It feels like they're like forcing themselves to be like stupid. Oh, you're so stupid. Which is a compliment that's been given to some people, but like that's not everyone's ministry.
Wow,
and
that is
Mogami
such
was like,
a very poignant observation. I love that. For real. I hate that too.
I want to do it. So I smelled my finger and it was a burger and I said burger finger. And everyone's like, this is brilliant. Like if I was like, I was eating a taco and then I saw someone's head. So I wrote my song Taco Head. Taco head, bitch, you got a taco head. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom. That means you're gonna get read by Miss Taco Head. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka. And everyone's like, girl, you like, oh my God, you wrote Taco Head. It was so fierce. And it's like, the burger finger does not have the same artistic merit as Willow Pill's The Toast in the Bathtub talent show. Feels like Plain Jane's burger finger was trying harder.
So, yeah, and I absolutely agree with what she had to say on that. But apparently, Plain Jane didn't like what she had to say about burger finger and said, no, I get that people can't compute me being both sexy as AF and a clown who performed this number well before Drag Race, but this take is tired. According to you, but that's their opinion. So Plain Jane then shared another Instagram story writing, everything I did on the show was authentic to who I am as a drag performer. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have been able to sell it so fiercely, but go off. Well, apparently Miss Mamas was triggered by what Bob said and even went on and said, where she shared the YouTube link for the Burger Finger. It was a video and wrote, frankly, it's rude for alum Rude girls to claim Burger Finger has less artistic merit than other shittier talents, especially girls that never even had to prepare talent numbers on the original seasons. Let's see you do better, Grandma. Okay, so this is the part where I would have to windmill her ass if I saw her on site. Now, Big Atlas, who collaborated with Plain Jane on the Burger Finger song and video, also chimed in about Bob's comments, writing, she want to act unbothered, but fully bothered by Bob the Drag Queen's Burger Finger rant. You can't like it, hate it, or simply critique the Drag Race performance, sure, but saying Burger Finger as a whole has zero artistic merit, calling it a Jimbo knockoff like the rabid fans who follow your lead stinks down. And then added this, saying the song was not written for Drag Race. If you don't get the joke, that's your own misunderstanding. Very few queens have the talent or ability to write plus produce their own music, Bob included. Given that, I'd say Burger Finger has more artistic merit than the song, but any song, that's a damn lie. They said that any song performed by Bob. She added, new people will criticize Burger Finger once presented on Drag Race, but this has been really such a eye roll experience given the amount of work Plain Jane and I put into Burger Finger. And at the very least, mention my name if you're gonna shit on my song. Girl, don't nobody even know who the fuck you are. Like, you sit up here, Big Atlas. Don't nobody know who a fuck a Big Atlas is. I ain't even heard of your ass until you decide to assert yourself in the conversation. Never heard of you. Who are you? And quiet as it's kept, the song is trash. And you basically threw ketchup and mustard on your fake boobs and you got applauded for it. And I do agree with Bob where they're saying that it just seems like ever since Willow Pill did what they did with the toaster and the tub and the eating the spaghetti and all that other stuff, the stupider concept, the more stupid your concept, the more you're applauded by the judges. This is no different than Sasha Velour at the finale of Drag Race with the rose petals. Ever since then, everybody wanted to try to upstage her in that moment, and a lot of y'all failed since then. So now we had to constantly have these big moments where y'all want to try to, have your little viral moment. And it wasn't as successful because it was strategic on Sasha's part, on her behalf. She knew what she was doing in regards of like putting all that together. And if you've seen her in nightgowns, you know that how she thinks a lot of all that stuff out and how she strategizes a lot of her performances. So yeah, just because you liked it and you worked so hard in it, not everybody's gonna like what you do, regardless of how much work and effort you put into it. But clearly you was triggered by what Bob said because you had to go write a whole goddamn thesis. You had to write multiple times. I felt like this was a Nicki Minaj rant. The way you was getting all upset over somebody making comments about y'all tight ass performance. Nobody cares. So Burger Finger, in my opinion, was stupid. I don't particularly like Plain Jane because she is another one who, like Justin Timberlake, is trying so hard to be this thing that she's not. You trying to take on this whole villain bitch role, and girl is getting dragged by her own her coworkers on Drag Race. That's why I'm looking forward to tonight's episode when a mandatory meeting goes in on that ass and called, why are you such a C word? You know, the charisma in the C. It's like, why you the big C? So I'm actually looking forward to that because Plain Jane is trying so hard to be this whole villain on the show and it's not working. So it'd be nice if you was up in here being yourself. And yes, she does give a cross between Jimbo and Katia, but quiet as it's kept. A lot of the I feel like a lot of the queens that have come on this show, it's been on what 16 seasons. A lot of the queens that make it on the show, apparently it seems like y'all are a derivative of what already exists. What we've already seen. We've seen queens like these on the show already. So yeah, when people compare her to Jimbo and Katia, which in her video, before we even got to know who the hell this witch was, she decided to throw shade at Katia. Well, yeah, Katia basically put on the whole Russian thing long before you was even a thought. So now you getting mad because I speak actual Russian. Whoop-de-fucking-do, bitch. So while you're out here mad at Bob the drag queen, somehow that her music, like whatever Plain Jane is doing is better than anything that Bob has put out. Okay, so Bob put out an album last year called Gay Bars, which did really well on the charts. She's touring with Madonna, which you could never say. You didn't even get invited to be up on stage with her. Saphira did. So nobody's checking from this girl from Boston. So continue to play up the villain role. Maybe you need to hit up Mistress Isabel Brooks, Fifi O'Hara, one of them girls, and they could teach you the art of reading because, girl, you just don't have it. So I don't like Plain Jane, never particularly care for her. Like, I've never disliked the queen so much than I have this season. But I do wonder because a lot of people don't particularly care. Like, I've noticed a lot of people have been going in on Plain Jane on social media because of her behavior on the show. And I do recall that Mistress brought up that, well, I haven't seen y'all try to get her Instagram banned, taken off social media, but when it was with me, y'all was going above and beyond trying to get me removed off social media. But Plain Jane, y'all just drag her on social media, but y'all not going the same, you're not taking the same drastic measures that y'all did with me. So maybe y'all need to try to be shady and try to get her pages taken down, see how she like it. And yeah, Burger Finger is stupid. Okay, so Sailor Mermaid says, babes, the problem is Lil Nas X has potential, but he's not hungry enough, and this new song is proof and stuff. Did he come out with another song too? I didn't even listen to his latest song. I know I think he did release something, but I just didn't care enough to listen to it. So maybe that's what it is. And Miss Tarot D says, stopping by to share some love. Well, thank you, because I could use some right now. Like I told you, I am under the weather. I've been trying to take it easy for the past couple of days. So I can use all the love I can get. Plain Jane makes me think of a combination between Fifi and Roxy in season 5. Well, Roxy didn't really start showing her ass in the last couple of episodes. Like she was good in the beginning. Then once it was just they were the top three. It was her, Alaska, and Jinx. And Jinx was like, when she mentioned that comment about how she wanted to see Jinx go home, and she was trying to play them pageant little games or whatever because she wanted Jinx to be kicked off the show, and then she ended up winning. There was that. So Bob and Monet lost me when they both admitted to being into race play in the bedroom. What's the joke? Or something on, because I remember hearing something or another about the whole race play situation. I may have to go back on that. It's like, yeah, and that's another thing too. Like my thing is, if you're gonna be in this business, you need to have a thick skin. And to me, it's like Jane can dish it but can't take it because the girls be coming for, she be trying so hard to come for a mandatory meeting and some of the other girls on the show, and they be reading her the fuck back, and she can't take it. You can't take the girls. So it's like, if you're not good at the whole backstage banter and reading bitches, don't do it. Don't waste your time. Can you imagine her going up against Bianca Del Rio? Bianca would probably have her crying. She never in tears going back to Boston, child. There's a repetitive pattern in the entertainment industry. Most of these new artists with the big platforms aren't putting effort in their craft and becoming more lazy and mediocre. Could be. Capitalism and social media, along with stan culture, everybody wants popularity so badly. Yeah, and then it's like y'all not even given what needs to be given in regards of the talent. And see you in the bottom too. I'm actually going in surprised tonight. Like I had no idea I knew who was going to be eliminated last week. I knew who was going to be eliminated the week before. Tonight, I have no idea who's going to be eliminated. So I'm going to go in with an element of surprise. I record Drag Race on Philo. So I'm going to wait like an hour around 9 o'clock. And then I'm going to watch Drag Race so that way I can fast forward through the commercials because I hate commercials. So I'll definitely be watching Drag Race today. That's my show. I don't know what it is, but it's like I was like, if there was ever a point that I don't want to speak this into the universe, but if I was ever in a coma, I know y'all could play Drag Race on a loop. Put a marathon of RuPaul's Drag Race. That would definitely get me to wake up. I said, that's what Roxy said to Jay. She was like, what the thing she was looking forward to was seeing you in the bottom too. Because I just started I finished season 5. I just started season 6 with Bianca Del Rio, because I told you I'm watching the old episodes of Drag Race again. Okay, so let's see. Oh, so there's a lot of stuff that's going on with a lot of the girls. I want to give a congratulations to or congratulations, because Morphe Love Dion basically said that they came out as non-binary. So congratulations to her. I do like Morphine. Morphine is shady, but I actually like Morphine. But yeah, they said that they go by they them pronouns, that they're non-binary. And I was understanding with all that surgery and stuff that they got, I'm not surprised that they're non-binary. But I also want to give a huge congratulations to a mandatory meeting, who is like one of my favorites on the show, since we were talking about her, who came out as trans in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. So fan favorite, a mandatory meeting. And I told her I love a quick pun in a drag name, like had letters. I like those type of names. Jan Sport, but then they had to cut the sport out. Or Britta Filter, where she had to go by Britta. So, I do love a pun in a drag name. But anyway, so a mandatory meeting has come out as trans on a quick drag podcast interview from Entertainment Weekly. Now, in the interview, Amanda explained that she considered herself non-binary years before competing on Drag Race. However, she was going through issues with her then husband, who was seemingly not supportive of Amanda being trans. She said it wasn't at all supportive. It wasn't at all supported by my partner, and it ended up being a big part of why I had to leave, because he didn't want to be with a trans person. I was in a bad place about it mentally for a while, but you get to a point where you're like, I have to do what's right for me. And that involved getting out of that. Amanda continued, I showed up for Drag Race in the space of I'm going to advocate for myself. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm not going to allow myself to be victimized in the way that I feel like I have been in the past, pre-Drag Race. I was in this environment for the first time where everyone's calling me Amanda and not my government name, and realizing how good that felt. And it started to feel a bit more comfortable in the reformation of my identity. But I think for the most part, a lot of people tend to call drag queens by their drag names. A lot of times they don't go and call you by um they don't call you by your government name or your dead name or whatever it is that you want to call it. So I have to say I love Mandatory Meeting. I'm a huge fan of hers. I especially loved seeing her on the recent episode of Roscoe's with her and Mirage, where they were talking about a lot of stuff that was going on with the show and some of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes. So if y'all have not seen that episode of A Mandatory Meeting and Mirage at Roscoe's, definitely check that out on YouTube. It was a good episode. So, and how they were just, I love guests where they go and they have their full of energy, they have a lot to say. Amanda just be like, I'm not being, or Amanda was trying to be the more diplomatic one. Mirage was just like, I'm gonna just spill the tea, I don't care. And so I did love seeing that. But like I said earlier, I am actually looking forward to tonight's episode because Amanda and Plain Jane get into it. Because I just don't understand why Plain Jane continues to always come for Amanda. Maybe she thinks she's an easier target. I mean, I don't get that, but maybe she feels like she is. And then it also said by the time filming on Drag Race season 16 wrapped, Amanda noticed that going back into her pre-existing reality just didn't feel right. She said it was kind of jarring to go from the environment where everyone is calling me Amanda and she herring me and being called by my government name again and he him. And I was like, this is very much not correct for me. This experience helped me push out the nest a little bit and crack the egg. So I'm actually looking for look, I actually hope like man, do I see Amanda winning the show? No. I already told y'all who the top two is gonna be. I'm not gonna spoil it on here, but I already told y'all who makes it all the way to the end. But Amanda, I believe, will win fan favorite, Miss Congeniality, whatever the case is, because she is someone who well, I think it's gonna be between her and because after we saw the way Mirage was eliminated in the last episode, I feel like a lot of people it's gonna be between those two because I think people love Mirage and people love a mandatory meeting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Mirage come back for All Stars. But girl, you should have knew the words to the lip sync to Dark Lady when you performed it in the last episode, or didn't perform it because you ain't know the words. Well, y'all been on this show long enough to A, know how to sew, and B, know the lyrics to your song if you're gonna be up for a lip sync. So there's that. Okay, so we have some comments because this was by the way, that was our last topic. So I'm gonna see what the comments and stuff is. So if you call me by my government name while I'm in drag, well, I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of drag queens go, "Oh, bitch, don't be calling me by my government name if I'm in full geesh." And to me, that's disrespectful. Like I would never consider calling somebody by their government name. Like, "Hey, Joe," I was like, "Oh, you getting this? I'm backhanding your ass if you did that to me." It's like, no, you will call me by my drag name. Call me by my drag name. That'll be the sequel to Call Me by Your Name, right? Without Timothy Chalamet. Or maybe Timothy Chalamet will get in drag. That's why I said Plain Jane makes me think of Fifi because it reminds me of the feud. Yeah, and Fifi, she played real dirty in her season. Like the way she would try to sabotage people, especially Jiggly Caliente. And see how that played out and how you were trying to find ways to sabotage her so she can go home. Oh, yeah, you should definitely do it this way. Even though everybody said go comedy, she was like, oh no, go serious. So you trying to sabotage your friend so she can go home, think that's gonna help you win. And in the words of Nene Leakes, you'll never win when you play dirty. Speaking of Nene Leakes, I did hear she's about to do a new Lifetime movie with Denise Richards where I think it's called Hunting Housewives. So it's like 4 housewives are stranded in a plane crash or whatever, and then they got to fight against, to survive against some hunters who were trying to kill them or something or another. You know them Lifetime movies. So I'm glad Nene got a gig while she out here. Bravo may not be paying her no mind, but Lifetime is. So she said she want to be an actress. All right, so we have come. Wait, no. I hate when it. All right. So we've come to the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning into the latest episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Do yourselves a favor if you haven't already, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button so that way you will know when we go live with a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Thank you to all of you who had, chimed in the comments, such as Felix, Miss Tarot D, Sailor Mermaid, Ro. I'm like scrolling. I was like, who else was in here? And so, and Robert was up in here too. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your comments and all the stuff and interacting with the show. And yeah, until next time, ciao, darlings. I'm gonna go recuperate because I am feeling like I'm out of it. I may have to make me another thing of tea and then lay down and watch some TV or whatever. Because I'm glad I don't got nowhere to go. I'm just gonna relax. Hopefully, I will feel better by tomorrow. But yeah, I just been feeling like this haze over my eyes and everything. And I feel like my head's been a little hot too. Anyway, so love you all for watching. And until next time, ciao, darlings.